What a way to kick off the 4 o'clock hour with our old friend, your old friend. He needs no introduction. You can catch him on the Infinity Sports Network, weeknights 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., and follow him on Twitter at Bart Winkler Show, and check out the podcast Into the Winklerverse. And if you're watching at youtube.com/thefan Milwaukee, you can see that beautiful mug of his, and you'll notice a slimmed down Bart Winkler. Why is this? It zoomed in on me again. It zoomed in on me. That's way too much of my face. There we go. Hey, Bart, how are you this afternoon, my man?
I was going to say the same about you. You're looking pretty good. Do you know you're supposed to lose weight before the wedding?
I did. I lost like 23 pounds, 24 pounds before the wedding, and then I was stuck, Bart. I was stuck right around like 207. But I hit my stride again. Now I'm down to like 201, 202. I lost like 6-7 pounds here again recently. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm trying to live a long life. Trying to stay around.
I'm happy to be joined. I'm happy to be joining you. I was going to have to say no. I had jury summons yesterday.
Oh.
And I was seated on 2 different trials. Now, I did not get assigned to either of them. Thank, the powers that be. And I think, when you say, about the radio, everybody, saying that in front of a room where nobody knows who you are sucks, by the way. but so I think that got me off. But then
you think
also,
that scares them off when you tell them your profession?
Yeah, I think so. But then also, I think I got disqualified from one because I told the defense attorney, he goes, does anyone have any questions or is anybody unsure about, how I'm presenting this information about, some things, just innocent until proven guilty, all that. And I raised my hand. They gave me the mic. I go, I got to be honest. It doesn't seem like you're very confident in your case. And he's like, what? I'm like, the way you're presenting, you sound like you're already I know you're the defense attorney, but it sounds like you're already playing defense. And then some girl behind me goes, that's how it's supposed to sound. And I snapped at her. I go, what did you say? And the judge is like, whoa, no talking. I did not get placed on that jury.
Yeah,
I can be here with you.
I would imagine not. Yeah, they're like, this guy's a problem. We haven't even gotten to the actual trial, and this guy is a real problem for us. You're dismissed, sir. You are dismissed. Well, that's good. Nobody wants to actually be placed on a jury. You know what I mean? It's good that we have them. We all want them, but none of us really want to be on them.
I wasn't, if they don't like the information I'm presenting, that's fine. But I wasn't like, some people go in there clearly, they've got their strategy. Like, is there anybody that can't be on this jury? Yeah, me. Oh, why is that juror number 4? I've got undiagnosed anxiety. Yeah, we all do, bro. It's 2025. I at least got pills in my upstairs bathroom for it. Go see a doctor.
My dad was this close to being on the Rittenhouse jury, believe it or not. He was like one of the final people dismissed down there in Kenosha. He wanted to be.
He wanted to be that in any way.
Good idea. I probably shouldn't have even brought it up in any way. Let's talk sports, Bart Winkler. I'm just gonna throw at you things that we've talked about on today's show. First of all, a two-part Jordan Love question. I'm sure you heard the news that he's gonna have to have surgery on the thumb on his non-throwing hand to repair some ligament damage. Non-throwing hand. If you're in your car and you just heard the news, don't drive off. He should be back in practice by like late next week, they're saying, and they think he'll be ready for the season opener here in a few weeks. But that, along with, I don't know if you love Mike Sando's QB Tiers column that he puts out every year as much as I do, but Jordan Love 13th and a tier 2 quarterback, according to 50 coaches, executives, and other people that Sando surveyed. So part one of the question, any concern that Jordan Love is injury prone after we saw what we saw last year and then the thumb injury this year? And do you think Jordan Love kind of leveled off as a tier 2 quarterback, and is that good enough?
All right, first, I actually don't believe that you can be injury prone.
Okay, I know there are people who believe that. I said that earlier when we talked about it. That's fair.
I don't think that's a thing. I think some people get hurt and some people don't. I think it's a luck of the draw sometimes. Or if you're putting yourselves in more situations, then you get hurt more. Like if you're Jordan Love, if he was just like a carpenter, would he be hurt all the time like this?
Probably not. I mean, you might get a nail through the finger or hit his thumb with a hammer or something. That could happen.
Maybe not, that's maybe a tier 2 analogy, but I think that
or if you're a running quarterback, you're putting yourself in a situation or a position where you can get hurt more often.
Now I'm throwing hands, so I'd love to downplay that. I think part of what happened and maybe why people think he leveled off last year was because I do think when he was hurt, that affected his mentality. I think that he thought he was limited in some ways, and he made some decisions that were bad that he would not make if I don't think he was fully healthy. So I don't know how much it's going to affect him. I don't know how much he's going to be thinking about it. Thankfully, it's not on the throwing hand. I don't like he's not. So I did my quarterback rankings a couple weeks ago because everybody does.
Oh, is this on the Bartometer?
It was.
Oh, nice. I love the Bartometer. I listen to Bart often, and you should too.
Thank you. So obviously the top 4, I put Allen, and this was my order. Josh Allen, Lamar, Josh Allen. Hey, you still have that take?
Josh Allen, number 1?
You still have that take?
I've backed off it a little bit. He's still overrated, though. He didn't deserve that MVP last year. It was Lamar Jackson, but I digress.
Well, that's 1, 2, and you can,
he's like 5th or 6th best quarterback in the league.
Well, he's no lower than 5.
Okay.
All right.
Give you that.
I get it, Shams. You got to stick with your Giannis bill.
We're going to get into that, too. Go ahead.
Mahomes, everybody thinks the top 4 is Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, and Burrow. Jalen Hurts is 5. I don't know why people are trying to dismiss his role with that team. And then I put Jordan Love as a top 10 quarterback. I think that what we saw from him when he was at his best was really, really good. If you flip those 2 years around, if you flip his first year and his second year, and people are, how high everyone is on Jaden Daniels. Yep. They're that high, if not higher, on Jordan Love. I think there's a lot of potential there. I still think there's a lot of room to grow there. I think we've already seen flashes of it that just has to materialize in a game more. But I don't like. Are we comparing him to Aaron Rodgers at his peak? Are we comparing him to Brett Favre at his peak? Or are we comparing him to his contemporaries?
I'm comparing him to his
quarterbacks better than him.
No, I'm comparing him to his contemporaries. I'll just quickly run down the guys they have ahead of him in Mike Sando's QB tier. And again, this is not Mike Sando saying it. He talked with 50 people around the league, including general managers, assistant GMs, former GMs, head coaches, and coordinators. So this is their evaluation and their voting that put Jordan Love where he's at. They have Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, Stafford. Those are the tier 1 QBs. And then you got Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, C.J. Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, and then Jordan Love.
Yeah, and then so when I did my quarterbacks, I think there is a top 5, and then 6 through 15 are dealer's choice. So it's if you want to put Jordan Love at 13, that's basically putting him at 7. That's basically putting him at 10. The tier 2, these are so interchangeable, I think, on how people are going to try to put him that, if you're putting him as a tier 2 quarterback and then ranking him in that, okay, whatever. But he's not tier 1, but he's not tier 3. So I think tier 2 is fine for him.
Do you think he could get to tier? Do you think he can get into the class of Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and Jackson? And I'll give you the description of what a tier 1 quarterback is. Can carry his team each week. They win because of him. He expertly handles pure passing situations. Has no real holes in his game. Those are the criteria for a tier 1 QB. Do you think Jordan Love can fit that description and be in the class of those guys I just mentioned?
Maybe. To have a flawless game with no holes. I don't think we've seen that yet. But then again, a lot of that description is how he looked at the end of his first year as a starter. He was
I think that's a great
game
point
against
you
the
made.
Giants. He was MVP
Yeah, and I think it's a good point you made that if you flip the 2 years and you saw a step forward from year one to year two, the narrative is totally different. And of course, the injuries played a factor in how he played and his decision making last year. So you make some good points, Bart. And I said that I could see him climbing up to like the top of tier two, but I don't know if I ever see him getting into that tier one category and being mentioned in the same breath.
Even
as
that is a huge win for this franchise.
For sure. Yeah. And I said that's enough. It makes things tougher than it was when you had an Aaron Rodgers or a Brett Favre, and they were, clear-cut tier one quarterbacks, and you could win and single-handedly be in contention because of those guys. You need a better defense. You need a better running game. You're going to need a better coach. You're going to need the rest of the roster in the organization to carry more weight to get into the Super Bowl conversation than you did throughout those guys' tenures as the Packers quarterback.
Yeah, I think that this is a big year for them, though. I mean, I don't want to see injuries. I don't want to see excuses. I need to see Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love put it together. This is the 7th year of LaFleur, and the 3rd year with Love as a starter. I mean, even if Love is tier 2 at the bottom, you give another coach these 3 years of Jordan Love and 4 years of Aaron Rodgers, 2 where he's an MVP. Other guys are getting 2 Super Bowls with that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Let's get into some Brewers. Talking with Bart Winkler, Infinity Sports Network, weeknights, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. You'll hear him right here on The Fan. Can this team surprise you anymore? Their second 10-game winning streak of the season. I gave out this stat earlier in the show. Only 2 teams in recent memory have had 2 10-game winning streaks. It was the 2019 Astros and the 2017 Dodgers. Both of them ended up in the World Series. They're 25-4 in their last 29 games. They've won 49 of their last 65 games. How do you explain this, Bart? And can they even surprise you at this point, or do you just expect what they're doing?
I saw a Joe Zanzola tweet, and at
Radio
first
Joe. I haven't talked to Joe in a minute. How's he doing?
Well, are you back in the fantasy league we're doing?
Yeah, you haven't sent me an invite, but if I'm invited, I'm in.
I sent everyone an email. Nobody responded except for Zaki.
No, I didn't get an email. I swear I didn't get an email.
Okay. I'll get on that this week. He goes, and at first I looked at it, I go, Joe. But then I was like, actually, Joe, this slaps. He says, the Brewers did not make a deal with Devil. Euchre made a deal with God. And I was like, hell yeah, Joe. I think
your first thought was that's corny.
It was, but
that
then
was your first, yeah.
But then I quickly came on board.
Okay, fair.
I think, like, as me, a Brewers fan who has told himself and convinced himself they're never going to win a World Series, this year starts to shake that a little bit out of you. But still, I'm not going to let the playoffs are what would be surprising. If they succeed in the playoffs, I'm going to be surprised. I am surprised with how good they are, but also they have really the thing about this team, and it's so true, and it was true. Saturday night was a great example. Was you can't make a mistake. Like, you can't make any single mistake at all, because then they will get it on you. Oh, yeah. The pitch clock expired 1 second prior. Okay, throw another pitch. Okay, Contreras home run. I mean, it is ridiculous if you're playing against them at this point. But I do think that this level of, precision with how they are kind of exploiting other people's mishaps, that is going to benefit. If they can keep this up, the 5-game series against the Cubs, the Brewers are coming into that with, great vibes and eating pancakes out of pockets and not feeling like any pressure at all. They're just going out there and they're winning. And, is momentum real? Maybe, maybe not. I think believing when you're down 5-0 that it's just the first inning, who cares? You can still come back is real. And so the Cubs are going to be the ones maybe more prone to make mistakes. And you're going to have other teams that are in a playoff pressure situation, like the Mets were. They're feeling pressure. They make mistakes. Brewers capitalize. You're going to have teams that are bringing up young guys who are going to make mistakes. Brewers will capitalize. You're going to have teams that are not really playing for anything. They're going to make mistakes because they're not being attentive. Brewers will capitalize. So as long as they keep this focus, they should be the number 1 seed, which is going to be transformative because a lot of these years they get into the playoffs, but as a wild card, and then in a 3-game series, someone hits one home run against you, and you're done.
Yeah.
So a longer series, and this is a big. Hold on, 2 things baseball needs to change. I would like the same level of rounds in every playoff series. I would like it to all be 7. NBA
Agreed.
can do it. Baseball can do it. And
Agreed.
also, the AL and NL are the same league now as much as AFC and NFC are. Why are we still giving out MVPs in both leagues? Stupid.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good point.
Thank you.
Do you think the Cubs make it interesting, or the Brewers keep running away with this thing?
Well, the big series is going to determine everything. If the Cubs, like that Monday's huge. If they can get both those games, then suddenly maybe the Brewers do feel a little pressure. And we'll see what happens in the week leading up to that. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's funny that I ever got sad that Craig Counsell went there because he blows.
And would you eat a pancake that's been in your pocket all day? I wouldn't. I mean, it's a fun story, and I like Pat Murphy. He's a fun dude. It's kind of gross. It's the pocket pancake is a little. I'm not eating a pancake that's been sitting in my pocket all day. Yeah, I'm asking. Oh yeah, yeah. You're
me, the guy that
guy.
used to eat buffalo chicken wings at Brothers on the toilet. You're asking me.
I forgot. You would definitely eat a pocket pancake, no doubt about it. And last thing for you, Bart, real quick, because I got to get to Jason Hershorn in our Green and Gold update. How stupid is the Giannis dialogue at this point?
Well, it's only coming from one guy.
No, Zach Harper today, who I love. I love Zach Harper.
What did Zach Harper say?
He put out his concernometer, just went around the league and his level of concern for a few different teams in the NBA, and he has the Bucks' level of concern and the Giannis situation at a 7 of 10.
What situation is there?
That's what I'm saying. It's August 12th. Like at this point, if he wanted out, we'd know. He would have come just right out and said it by now, wouldn't he? He's not going to pull the rug out on him a few weeks before training camp. Unless
Horse is cooking up some like Karl Anthony Towns, Julius Randle deal, like they did in September last year. Those teams, I don't look. The problem with this is everybody now is so entrenched that maybe Giannis doesn't finish as a Buck, and they're going to be able to say "I told you so," which is a crock of. Almost said it.
Yeah, this isn't your podcast. You can't say that.
I just recorded a new one with Jay Kokorowski. We talked Badgers.
Nice. Yeah. Check it out. Give people, where do they find that, Bart?
Wherever you find your pods.
Wherever you find your pods. That's where you find Into the Winklerverse. You also catch him weeknights, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the Infinity Sports Network and right here on The Fan. You know him. You love him. I don't need to tell you. He's Bart Winkler, and he's been my guest for the last few minutes on the Fan Guest Line powered by Gruber Law. Say it with me, Bart. One call, that's all. You didn't say it with me.
They don't pay me. You want to come on to talk Bears tonight?
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me know.
9:20?
Send me a link. I'll be there, buddy.
We'll just call you.
All right. Sounds good. That's Bart Winkler. You can catch him tonight, and apparently
you
I'll
want
be
to come on
him.
at 10:20 so you can be on the score. What time do the Cubs play?
The Cubs play, I believe, 6:40 first pitch tonight, so they should be either one work. 9:20 or 10:20 works. Whatever works for you. Consult with your producer. Get back to me.
Right now. Pick.
10:20. Let's do 10:20.
Okay.
All right, buddy. So catch me on with Bart Winkler tonight at 10:20. Thanks, Bart. Always a pleasure, man.
Thanks for having me.